Hey YouTube, welcome to my world, Steffi's World. I'm your host, Stephanie Cosby, and I wanted to come on with my recap and thoughts about Kingdom Business that's showing on BET Plus. I actually caught it last night. I heard some talk about it. I heard that it was Greenleaf meets Empire, and I think that was a good analysis of it. Kingdom Business. It starts off with Yolanda Adams doing only what Yolanda Adams can do, and she's singing. She's turning it out. I think she starts it off with Jesus Can Work It Out. And Michael Beach plays her husband, and they have a church, which is First Kingdom Church. The daughter is the minister of music, and the son is her A&R. So it's a true family affair. The next clip goes directly to the strip club, and you see the actress. I believe her name is Saraya. She was on Empire, and she's played in a number of other things. And her character's name is Rebel. So as she does her thing on the pole, she's headed up to do a private dance, and she passes another stripper who is clearly in the middle of something with I'm gonna assume he's the owner. So she brushes past her. Rebel asks her if she's okay, and the young lady just brushes past her and she looks back, but she heads out. They go in opposite direction. um Yolanda Adams' character, Danita Jordan, is a top selling gospel artist. Not a stretch at all, but she plays it well. She plays it well. And her husband is the bishop, and her dad is a bishop. So while they're introducing everybody, a familiar person jumps up, taking pictures, going filming. I ain't gonna say he went live, but filming, and he was very familiar to me. It was Larry Reed, and if you aren't familiar who Larry Reed is, he is a popular YouTuber in these YouTube streets, and he's also a vlogger, etc., etc., etc. But I was like, oh, how did this get past me? I didn't know that he was in this. So yeah, you see a familiar face, but it rattled Danita. From the word go, she was like, what is Larry Reed doing here? And her husband was looking like, I don't know. So it goes back to, and I'm sorry, let me see. The stripper that passed Rebel is a young lady named Danny, who is her friend, and they go way back. And it's obvious that she is very, very bothered about something, but she won't tell Rebel what it is. Rebel and Danny leave the strip club, and she talks about mom is praying for me to stop stripping, and she asks her friend like, "Don't you want more than this?" And she was like, "Girl, we got it. We making money." And like I said, you could tell that she may be even ready to leave the business. She is just really just bothered by whatever is going on with her. And as they're talking, it flashes back to Danita, who's singing One Moment from Glory. And that song has everybody on their feet, and you see a mysterious man watching from the back. He's played by the character. His character is played by Michael Jai White, who I have not seen in a while. And come to find out, Rebel and Danny are both into music. And Danny was basically saying, like, we need to get back to music. Rebel tells the girl, we got time. So she drops Danny off. And this is where you pick up on different shots or whatnot. As Rebel leaves, another car pulls from the opposite side of the road and pretty much like boxes Danny in. So she slows down, but she says, wait, hold up. And I'm sitting there like, who is she talking to? I thought she was driving. So it's just one of those things you catch in movies and shows. And so Danny's arguing with somebody, and they pull out a gun, and she gets shot at point blank range. Rebel jumps out and goes to her. She's hurt. It is serious, and they get help. So then it cuts to Danita gets home. First thing she does is goes and cracks open her laptop, and she's like, I want to see has Larry posted, because he wasn't just there to hear me sing. I want to see what he's posted, and it's something. It's a reason. She told her husband it's a reason why he was there. She also was not happy about Taj's date, who's the son. Um, her name is Essence, and she was like, I don't, I no, we taught him better than that. And Essence must be a little older. So it's something to that as well. And she's worried about her next album. She said it needs to be a hit. She wants to stay relevant. And she asked her husband point blank, are there any scandals? Or is there anything that I should know about? Because she's like, I know Larry is snooping around for a reason. Her husband said no, but he gets a call, and he was saying that someone needed him at the hospital, and she didn't like it at all. She even remarked, it's mighty funny they only need you at night. Rebel is at the hospital talking to the police. She's telling what little bit she did see, what she knows, and come to find out, her and Danny were in juvie together. Danny doesn't make it, she dies. Rebel had to go home. She still had her friend's blood on her. She's distraught by everything what happened. And her boyfriend, who also works at the club, he's a DJ, he comes home and he comforts her. Kingdom Records end up getting 12 Stellar Award nominations. Come to find out, Caesar has a record label, and he's the competition. At home, Danita said he's competition. In the boardroom, she said, oh no, he's not no competition. He only got one nomination. Danita will also be getting recognized for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Caesar is pissed because he's like, if it's for that album that I wrote part of, I want credit. And the person he was talking to was like, you wasn't even mentioned. And he said, that's because that beat took my name off. They're also doing, of course, a musical tribute to her. So she wants to know from her son, who you thinking? And she wants Cece, because she says much hardware I've given her. And her son was like, I want Kanye. And she was like, no, Cece. And he's like, Cece is busy. She was like, try again. So you kind of get the feeling like, even though he's in that position, she runs that. And he's not too happy about it. Bishop comes in and tells her that they're having Danny's memorial at the church. The first thing out of her mouth was the stripper. And he was like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. And he told her when the memorial was and went on about his day. And Rebel reminisces about Danny. She don't want to go to the memorial service. She was like, I don't want to go back to that church. They talked about her. They talked about us. And I don't want to go back to church. And the lady she's talking to is like, you got to show up for her. So she decides to go. She does show up. And this is something else which I'm like, they're at a funeral, a black funeral. And it was asked, does anybody have any remarks, anything they would like to say? Nobody moved. Nobody said nothing. I've been to a lot of funerals, and you want some not to say nothing. I've heard embarrassing stories, family secrets, paternities probably have been revealed. So I'm like, no. So Rebel gets up and she tells the people, Danny loved music. Even the parents was looking like, what? And she sings. And Rebel has a beautiful voice. The choir backed her up beautifully. The daughter stood up and she was like, follow her. And it sounded beautiful. She runs out. She sings, she doesn't stick around, and she runs out the church. Larry Reid goes live and was pretty much like, who is she? She left like Cinderella. This girl needs to be found, and the video goes viral. Essence, come to find out, is an artist. She wants to be signed to Kingdom Records, and she also wants to sing with Danita. Taj can't do that. And she's not too happy when he tell her, well, my mom sings strictly gospel. Well, I can sing gospel. Opportunist. So now I see what the moms rub about her dating her son. What that's about. She doesn't even want him to bring her to the Stellar Awards, to be honest about it. So Taj goes to his mom and tells her that he wants to sign Rebel, as he was like, you remember the young lady who sung at the memorial, and she was like the stripper, and you get to see that she is very, very judgmental. I don't know if it's a thing with strippers or it's something. The way it always comes up, like when she talked about Danny, it was the dead stripper. Then it was just the stripper. So he was like, you don't know that, and she was like, no, and he was like, I am the head of A&R. And she pretty much threatened him with, yeah, you the head and I can take you down too. So again, they're at odds. And Rebel's finding out and hearing that Danny was mixed up with some bad people. And she doesn't want to believe it. Taj goes to visit Caesar and was like, hey, I think you should try to find this girl and I think you ought to sign her. So he listens to her saying, at first he doesn't want to do it, and then he was like, will you bring her to me? And he was like, okay. So Taj ends up some kind of way finding Rebel at the strip club. And while she's talking to Dex about things, he comes up and was like, hey, are you the girl? And she was pretty much like, in here, I'm known as Chardonnay. So she tells him, I can talk to you, but he got to pay her for a dance. She takes him to the private room, and he's trying to talk business, and she's grinding all over him. And it's not like she's distracting him. He's really trying to tell her about her gift. And the minute he says gospel, she's just like, do you see what I am and what I do? And he was like, no, you have a gift and you should want more than this. So she keeps on trying to grind on him, and he pushes her off of him. That gets him thrown out the club, but he drops his card. Danita is watching Rebel's video. She rattled. She won't admit it, but she's rattled, and she's telling the husband the church ain't doing good financially. I need this record to be a hit. I need a hit, but I'm just having difficult. The song ain't coming to me. He'll give me one, but it's not coming to me. So she sits down at the piano and starts to kind of play around a little bit. Rebel, meanwhile, is cleaning out Danny's locker, and a flash drive falls out. She picks it up, and of course, she puts it in, and she opens a file. The file starts with Danny setting up a camera, and she has sex with someone, and it's caught. It's caught on camera. And when they're done, the man gets up, and we get a clear view of who it is. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Oh, you get a good look at his face. A good look. I liked it. I thought I don't know who the writer or creator is, so forgive me. They got it right. They got it right. And on this one, I'm going to need church people to stay out their feelings, because I heard a lot of talk with Greenleaf. It makes a mockery of the church, and it makes the church look bad. No, it doesn't. The reason why people have material to create and write about is because it is true to life. Art imitating life and life imitating art. So I don't have BET Plus, but I caught the full episode, and they also have a clip on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to figure something out, because I really like it and I would like to continue with it and see what happens. But again, Kingdom's Business on BET Plus. If you like what you just heard, what I did, click like and subscribe to the channel. I am, again, Stephanie Cosby, out in these YouTube streets. And if you want to connect with me in other ways, you can follow me on Twitter at Cosby, COSBEE. I am Stephanie Cosby on all other social media platforms. And I always close out what I do with love one another. Till the next time, peace.